Hello, welcome back. This is the start of yet another reading vlog. I have been trying to crank out the reading vlogs lately because I just haven't felt very inspired with the sit down videos. So I've been trying to do some more vlogs for you all, get some inspiration. But this vlog is actually a little bit of a collaboration with my friend Jacqie. Her channel is Jacqie Wheeler and she makes lifestyle content as well as bookish content. And she has a very adorable toddler. And so definitely check out her channel if you haven't. Although if you know of me, you probably also know of Jacqie. I have talked about her before in plenty of my videos. I do get to see her from time to time. She has like a cookbook club that she does at her house every couple of months. And we've gotten to meet up a couple times and do some things, wine, charcuterie boards, just various different things. And the idea for this vlog came about because during the backlist readathon, Jacqie read one of my favorite books and she didn't love it. It's not one of her favorite books, let's just say that. But we started talking about how Jacqie and I used to have really similar taste in books. And then over time, our tastes have changed a little bit as we have, grown into other genres and have been in different phases of our life. So she did a vlog with Beth, but Jacqie asked me if I wanted to do a similar video concept with her. So we both shared our lists of 1- and 2-star books with each other, and we are going to read them and then see if our tastes align or if each other's least favorite books end up being favorites for the other person. So let's see if I like any of Jacqie's lowest rated books. So I picked 3 off of her list, and the first one I actually think that I bought this from her Pango shop a couple of years ago and it's been sitting on my shelf ever since. And it's Hidden Wives by Claire Avery. And this is a polygamy cult book, but it's fiction. I love reading memoirs about polygamy and polygamous cults, but this is a fiction book and the author, Claire Avery, is actually a pseudonym for 2 sisters. And apparently they're interested in extremist religions after growing up in a pretty intense religious upbringing. And I think this is like a coming of age story for one of the daughters that's in a polygamous cult, and it's all about like her finding her husband. And I don't think it's a thriller. I think it's more of just general fiction. I'm interested to see why Jacqie didn't like this because she has liked other polygamy fiction books and we have liked many of the same ones, the same memoirs and the same fiction books. I am 31 pages into this book and I'm already not loving it. They've already brought out every cliche that you hear about polygamous cults and talked about every extremist thing that you see in the media and learn about and hear about. So I'm not really sure where it's gonna go from here, and it seems very villainous. There's so much drama and villainous, and everybody's really mean to each other so far, which I'm sure there are plenty of families that are like that, but I feel like for the most part, they aren't just catty and rude to each other. That's my AC unit cutting on. Anyway, I filmed a vlog here when I was in Colorado with my family last summer and the summer before that. So I'll link both of those vlogs. And I think 2 summers ago, I think I was making a vlog of reading Jacqueline's favorite memoirs. So I also have some Colorado content there. And then last year, I think it was during Catch-Up-a-thon, hosted by Amy and Krista, that I was vlogging here in Colorado. So definitely go look at those vlogs, and I'll try and get as much Colorado content as I can. And then I'll be back when I have a reading update. Okay, so my AC isn't cutting off for whatever reason, but I wanted to show you the view from my hotel. You can't really see because of that tree there. I mean, it's just beautiful. I love seeing the skyline and the mountain there. I wish you could see it better.
Look out, here she comes, the woman that I love. It's too bad she'll never know. Yeah, I can't tell her how I feel, because she has someone who makes her happy. I'm a ghost in these walls, or at least I try to be. 'Cause I hope that I'm not showing how I feel for her, but she won't feel the same for me. I've got this picture in my mind. It's just the 2 of us, just the 2 of us. But I know I have to try to let her go, because she won't be mine. I listen when she talks, I watch her when she walks. She's giving me these feelings that I've never felt before. But she will never know that I love her so well. She's with somebody else and I will have to let her go. She will never know, na-na. Never know, na-na. She will never know, na-na.
Hello. Okay, we are back and it's time for an update. So, I was reading Hidden Wives by Claire Avery, and this is a story about a girl named Sarah, and she's 15 and she's being forced to marry her uncle. She's part of a polygamous cult. And I made it to page 102, and I'm gonna DNF this book. I'm sorry, Jacqie. Actually, I'm not sorry because Jacqie didn't like this book either. This feels very YA. It feels very much like a coming of age story, which is fine, but at 100 pages in, nothing has happened.
I read Hidden Wives by Claire Avery. This is a young adult polygamy book. It's just a fiction book. It is not a true story, but last month I actually read one called Keep Sweet, which I absolutely loved. These both were pretty similar, but this one was a lot longer than Keep Sweet, and I just felt like it was very repetitive over and over again. I think Keep Sweet was done really well, even though it was a young adult book. So if I were you, I would definitely pick up Keep Sweet and just not read this one because I was definitely more bored with this one. I think I've read enough young adult polygamy books now.
And I did read that book. I borrowed it from her and I gave it 3 stars. So if I gave that one 3 stars and she gave it, I think 4 stars, and she gave this one 2 stars, then I'm definitely not gonna like this book because Keep Sweet was just an average book for me as well. Partly because of the YA aspect, and partly because I just feel like maybe at this point I've read so many books about polygamous cults that it just kind of feels repetitive now. These authors were like overutilizing every like generalization that you hear about polygamous cults. So yeah, this one I am going to DNF. Hopefully if I have more time, I'll be able to read another book. But yeah, this one, I found myself not wanting to read it. I found myself not even paying attention to what I was reading. And then I realized I read 3 pages and I know absolutely nothing that happened, and nothing really happened in 100 pages. So yeah, this one I am just going to unhaul. So that brings me to my next book that I started last night when I decided to put Hidden Wives down. And that is He Started It by Samantha Downing. So this is about 3 siblings and they are on a road trip together because they want to get their inheritance from their grandfather who passed away. And in his will, he said that they can only get their inheritance if they go on the exact same road trip that they went on as kids. I love sibling stories. I have a lot of siblings, so I'm always interested in seeing sibling dynamics in books. My AC just cut on again in my room. This is a vibe right now. This is a look for sure. Okay, we had to move away from my air conditioning unit. Anyways, the reason I wanted to pick up this book is because people tell me it has a very polarizing ending. I've heard people say that they thought this book was going to be a new favorite, and then the ending happened and they almost threw the book across the room. So I'm interested to see where I land, since people seem to have a love-hate relationship with this book. But so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. I really like the kind of gritty, passive-aggressive narrator that we have in the middle sibling. And they're going to all of these really kitschy touristy places, which I absolutely love. As you've seen in my B-roll, I love going to all the like kind of out there off the wall things. Just in this trip, we've been to the Colorado Museum of Prisons. Today I'm going to a ghost town museum, but I love to just see weird things or things where interesting things happened, or I'll go find like houses where true crime things happen. Like I do weird stuff like that when I'm on trips. It's fun to see. It's fun to say that you've been there, especially if it's something that you're interested in. So now this is giving me a longer list of things that I want to do in different places. Like they went to Helen Keller's home in the Helen Keller Museum and the Bonnie and Clyde Museum and where they were shot. Okay, this is the most Lena thing I've ever read. Grandpa called Arkansas the most underrated state because there were so many weird things to see. The place where Elvis got his haircut before going into the army, the birthplace of Walmart, multiple historical sites devoted to Bill Clinton, not to mention a monument marking the state's first legal human dissection. All of these are in Arkansas, along with the Henry Humphrey Memorial. I love stuff like this. I would love to go see all of these things. This is the perfect road trip for me. I need to do this road trip. So I hope that it continues on in this direction, and I will give you another update when I have one.
Never know, nah, nah. She'll never know. It's like she stole my heart without knowing she did. But I guess that it will pass. Yeah, I can't be the only one who got lost inside the blue of those eyes. I've gotta let her go. I know it won't be easy. I wanna hold her close, but I have to try as hard as I can, 'cause she'll never be mine. I listen when she talks, I watch her when she walks. She's giving me these feelings that I've never felt before. And she will never know that I love her so well. She's with somebody else and I will have to let her go. She will never know, nah, never know, nah. She will never know, nah, never know, nah. She will never know.
There's Miss Indie Girl. We are back home from Colorado. We got back really late last night. So today I've basically just been like sleeping and trying to catch up on laundry and things like that. But I wanted to update you on He Started It because I'm literally about to finish it. I am on page 316 and this book goes to page like 380. So I only have a little bit left and I am loving it. I love the road trip vibes. I love all the eerie, creepy things that have been happening. I love the road trip vibes. I just love how unhinged this book is. And I am very curious as to what this twist is that everybody talks about. So I am going to keep reading, and then when I think I've gotten to the twist or close to it, I might try and turn my camera on to see if I can like catch my face when the twist happens.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by. It doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again?
Okay, don't mind Tyler's work bag there, but I am about to leave to go to a barbecue at one of Tyler's coworkers' houses, but I wanted to talk to you about all of my thoughts on He Started It by Samantha Dowding. I didn't mind the ending. I see why it's polarizing. I do. I totally see that, and I totally see how people are annoyed by it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of fitting with the rest of the book.
I did not like this book. I believe I gave it 2 stars, and I was intrigued by it because there's all of these things that they can't tell you, and you know, they start a story and they're like, oh, well, we can't tell you that because it's a secret, like find out later. So that was intriguing because I was like, okay, like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going down. But the problem is when I got to the second half, they still weren't answering any of the secrets, so I felt like I was just being drug along with a carrot the whole way, you know? That gets pretty boring real quick, so the second half, I was like, okay, come on, let's wrap this up. Like, I wanna find out what's happening. But then the ending, oh my gosh, I can't believe I wasted all my time reading this book. If you are a seasoned thriller reader, do not pick up this book. It was a waste of my time. You are going to be so frustrated at the end because of just how it ends up. Like, it was so stupid in my opinion. So don't like this book. Don't recommend it.
And everything that she said she didn't like, I kind of did like about it. So with this one, we did have opposite tastes. I liked that it was a little bit unhinged. I didn't really know what was going on. The siblings kept on alluding to things that were just kind of slid in, but not really talked about. And there was a lot of things that just kind of happened. And I was like, wait, we need to go back and talk about this. But I think that was part of what made it so unhinged. They're like, yeah, our mom's in prison for killing our dad. Anyway, this road trip, And so I really liked that about it. I liked that I didn't really know what was happening, where it was going, what was going on. I wasn't able to guess what happened. I liked all of the characters. I do feel like there was a couple of things that were underdeveloped that I would have wanted to hear more about. There was some things that were red herrings that I felt like weren't really explained very well. So that's why I think I'm gonna give this book 4 stars. I don't think I can give it 5 stars just because I have too many questions. There's too many things that I felt like were left undone and not tied up. But I do like a fairly messy ending with books. It was kind of like one of those Taylor Adams endings where it just go, and it just got so fast and so thrilling and you didn't know what was gonna happen next. So I did really like this one. I do have a different opinion than Jacqie, but next we are going to read The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. I've read every Robin Harding book except for this one, and I don't actually know what it's about, but I know that it was pretty hyped last year when it came out, so I'm interested to see where I land in the hype. It is Sunday. I've taken a shower, washed my hair. The barbecue yesterday was a good time, and today I have just been cleaning my house because it is my last day of freedom before going back to work after being in Colorado and then having the weekend. That's the best thing, is when you have vacation but then have the weekend to like kind of just decompress, rest from your vacation, and get everything ready for the week ahead. So I have been listening to The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding, and this is about Lee, and Lee used to own a restaurant and she is down on her luck because the pandemic pretty much shut her restaurant down. And this book is set in Washington State, which I always love that background in books, so I'm definitely vibing with some of that. So she's living in her car by water and she sees a woman jump into the water and she pulls her out. So that's where the name Drowning Woman comes from. It's this woman that she pulled out of the water and saved. I think it was Puget Sound that she pulled her from, but I'm not entirely sure. And through talking to this woman, she learns that her husband is extremely abusive, and so now they're kind of helping each other. This rich woman is helping Lee, and Lee is helping this rich woman escape her life, essentially. And there's a little bit of a love interest, and then about halfway through the book we have switched to the POV of the woman. I think her name is Mabel. I'm terrible with names, especially when I'm listening to a book. I don't own this book physically at all, so I'm just listening to it, and I have no complaints so far. I'm enjoying it. I want to know what happens. I am not trying to figure it out, because with Robin Harding books, I found either the twist is something that you never would have seen coming, or there is no twist and everything is exactly as it seems and everything is laid out exactly how you'd expect. So I don't really know what to think of this one. And I want to wait and read Jacqie's review after I finish, and then we'll talk about it. There has been a strange turn of events. So it is Monday. I am working from home because I have COVID. Yay. I wanted to update you because I did finish The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding. I enjoy Robin Harding's writing style. I never have a problem listening to her books. The audiobook narrators are always good. I think now I've read everything that Robin Harding has written except for her most recent release. But I was curious where it was going to go. I enjoyed some of the twists. Did it add anything new to the domestic suspense trope? No, not really. Did it have an ending that was kind of tied up in a pretty bow and happily ever after? Kind of. So I have nothing bad to say about it. I think I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. It's not as much of like a high 4 stars as the Samantha Downing book, but it feels more than a 3. I can't think of anything really that I dislike about it. It's just one of those things where you feel like you've read it before. All right, let's pull up Jacqie's review. Okay, so Jacqie read this in August of 23, and she gave it 2 stars, and she said, "I thought this book was going to turn out great. Who doesn't love a read about a homeless woman who's trying to survive and a rich woman with an abusive husband? Too bad it didn't end up that way. There was too much randomness, and then it ended without answering any questions. Skip." I didn't feel like it was very random. I felt like it all kind of came together at the end nicely, and I felt like all my questions were answered almost too much. I would have liked maybe some ambiguity at the end. It has been a while since I've read a domestic thriller or a Robin Harding book, because for a while I did feel like they were all starting to be the same, but I think after taking a step back from them for a while now, that's kind of what I feel like I'm craving recently, is just those quick, easy to get through, almost popcorn thrillers. Okay, that brings me to the last book that I'm going to read for this vlog, and that is Running with Scissors by Augustine Burroughs. It's a true story of a boy whose mother gave him away to be raised by an unorthodox psychiatrist who bore a striking resemblance to Santa Claus. So at the age of 12, Burroughs found himself amidst Victorian squalor, living with the doctor's bizarre family and befriending a pedophile who resided in the backyard shed. The story of an outlaw childhood where rules are unheard of and the Christmas tree stayed up all year round. Valium was consumed like candy, things got dull, electroshock therapy machine could provide entertainment. The funny, harrowing, and best-selling account of an ordinary boy's survival under the most extraordinary circumstances. I really like memoirs, and so does Jacqie, so that's why I was surprised when I saw that she rated this 2 stars, and I'm interested to see where I fall because it has a lot of the buzzwords in it that I typically enjoy, and I am a big memoir person, so I am going to start this one and I'll update you when I have something to say. No. I am gonna DNF this at 50 pages. This is weird and grotesque. I don't really want to read about glorifying pedophilia or romanticizing like mental illness, and this book just gives me the ick. So I'm 50 pages in and this doesn't feel dark and disturbing, it just feels icky, and I don't want it in my brain. So I'm going to DNF this and unhaul it, and I'm sad that I spent $8 on it, which means I need to find one more book to read. Still working from home, still have COVID, still trying to finish this video. So I am on my last book for this video, and I am reading Humble Pie by the one, the only Gordon Ramsay. I was so sad when I saw that Jacqie gave this 2 stars because Jacqie and I both love Gordon Ramsay so much. I have watched like pretty much every show that he has on Netflix and Hulu and on TV, and I have been to 3 of his restaurants now in DC, Maryland, and Vegas, and I absolutely love everything about him. So I've been wanting to read his memoir, Humble Pie, for a while, and Jacqie read it, and she did a whole video where she made something that he talks about in the book, and so I will link those videos. I'll link as many of the videos as I can where she talks about all of these books that I read, but it's a really short audiobook. I can't speed it up too much. I'm only on like 1.4 times speed because of his accent. It was way too hard for me to understand what he was saying, so I kept on slowing it down until I could understand. So I guess he talks fast, I don't know, but even on 1.4 times speed, I still only have about like an hour and 15 minutes left of the audiobook. So I'm about a third of the way through and I'm enjoying it. I'm learning a lot about his family, about how he got his start, all of the like crazy things that happened to him in these kitchens that he worked in. I didn't realize how eccentric people in the food industry in Great Britain were or are, and just some of the things that his bosses would tell him to do, and it's like borderline abusive. I guess that's how you get your start in the industry. I don't know, but he was able to cope with all of that and able to sustain through all of the horrible things that his bosses were doing to him because his father unfortunately was abusive, so he was kind of used to it, and he even said like it was kind of familiar. He talks about how he met his wife, and it's one of those things where like if it were a fiction book you'd be like, this is too much, this is over the top. But sometimes real life really is stranger than fiction. Obviously, Gordon Ramsay is a chef and a soccer player and not an author, but I don't know, he just speaks so eloquently, and I'm so glad that he narrates the audiobook. So I'm having a good time, and I'm just gonna finish listening to it while I'm doing some tedious work tasks. We're back to finish this video and to talk about my thoughts on Humble Pie. I'm also gonna give this book 4 stars. So the 3 books that I have read for this video, I've actually given 5 stars. So Humble Pie, I really liked. I really loved that Gordon Ramsay narrated his own audiobook. I enjoyed learning about the restaurant industry, learning about his life, learning about his family. Some of the things that he said about his family and his brother and his mom were just so heartbreaking. And just the way he thinks about things and the way he thinks about food is just really refreshing. I just love his quirks and I love the way he talks about things, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it, and it was nice and it was short. I do wish that he would write like an updated version, because this came out multiple years ago. I want to say like 2008 or something, and so he's done so much since that, and so I would love to hear about his experience in America with MasterChef, with Kitchen Nightmares. He does talk about Hell's Kitchen in this book, which is one of my favorite shows that he does, but I wanted more. I wanted to know more about like his kids and what he's doing now. All right, let's quickly wrap up this video, but I read 2 books that I DNF'd, Hidden Wives by Claire Avery and Running with Scissors by Augustine Burroughs. These, I agree with Jacqie, not really for me. Don't really plan on ever picking them up or thinking about them again. So yeah, those were a no-go for me. And then I gave 4 stars to He Started It. This is my favorite book from this video. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't mind the weird out there ending. Then I read The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding, and I also gave that 4 stars. It was just a decent domestic thriller. I enjoyed it, kept me guessing. I really have no bad things to say about it. And then I read Humble Pie, and I gave that one 4 stars. So, pretty split video. I had 2 books that I DNF'd and just really was not enjoying, and then 3 books that I gave 4 stars. So maybe Jacqie and I have opposite tastes now. Definitely head over to Jacqie's video and see which books she decided to read that I gave 1 or 2 stars, and let's see her thoughts about them. We have similar tastes. Can we trust each other's recommendation? Let us know. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.